So, you can probably tell by the title of this video that I recently purchased another car because I reached a certain age. We're not going to say what that age is, but it's traditionally accompanied by some sort of crisis. So I also mentioned in a prior video that my wife got me the sign on the shop for my birthday. The thing is, the reason she got that is because she couldn't give me my real birthday present at the time. So she had decided that for my certain birthday, she was going to take me on a trip to a car auction and let me buy a car at auction. I thought, that's awesome. It's like the perfect present. You're great. Thing is, the garage was not done yet. I already had 2 cars in storage. I didn't want to buy another car and have nowhere to put it. So we put that on hold. And so I just kind of kept looking for cars. You know, I went to MIDLIFEcrisis.com, tried to see what I should get. And we wound up with something I didn't expect. So our story kind of starts at a Kia dealership, or I guess it starts online. So I found a car I wanted online. It was at a Kia dealership. And so we went there to check it out. They had a white one that was pretty cool. It had a really nice interior, but I didn't want that. They had this matte gray one, but it was, I don't know, didn't really want that one either. And then I saw the car that we were there to look at, and it hit all the marks. So we went ahead and bought it. I've had it for 3 or 4 days now, and even though it's not what I thought I would get, it's pretty awesome. So it's right here behind this garage door. I have the door opener right here. The thing is though, I'm not going to press the button, at least not yet. And that's because a few weeks ago, our good friend is now a loose term because of what he did, but our YouTube acquaintance, Mr. Nobody, did a bad thing. So he went and he bought a car and he brought it home, and it was kind of dusk. He's like, oh, it's too dark. I can't show it to you right now. Let me show it to you in the morning, which in YouTube world is like 2 seconds later. So morning comes and he's like, oh, car's right here, but I'm not going to show it to you. And I found myself getting very angry at Mr. Nobody. So this is my revenge. I'm going to do the same thing to him. There's a good chance he's watching right now. The thing is though, I know this is wrong, and I know you're getting angry at me right now. So I am going to drink this Chamois Drip pickled beer. Probably one of the worst pickled beers. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. But then I also have another pickle beer here for Mr. Nobody. Next time we see him, this is the spicy pickle beer. This one's gonna be waiting for you. I'm gonna put it out in the sun, extra hot. So I'm gonna sit here and delay for another 2 seconds, minute. How long is this video? I don't even know. But the thing is though, this beer is really bad, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop right now. We'll just open the garage door. This is a 2000 Dodge Viper, and yes, I found it at a Kia dealership. Apparently there is some guy who lives close to there, and he goes to auction and he buys random cars like this, drives them for a month or two, and then sells them to the Kia dealership, and they turn around and sell them to people like me. So this is the 2nd generation of Viper. The 1st generation only came in the convertible. That's the RT10. This is the Viper GTS, and that basically just means it's a hard top. So this isn't the car I thought I would get. Like, for a long time I really wanted an Aston Martin. I thought I'd always get one of those, and as I was looking at them, like, the new ones, they messed up. Like, they just don't look that great anymore, and the older ones I thought looked kind of dated. The Viper, I think the reason I got this, well, maybe 2 reasons. So one, about the time these came out, I couldn't even drive yet. I was under 16,
and I had a dream. I had a dream that I won. There was a McDonald's promotion about the same time, and so they were giving away red Vipers with terrible yellow wheels, but they were giving them away as part of some promotion, and I dreamt that I won one, and I woke up and the dream was so real that for like 15 minutes after waking up, I thought I had won a Viper and it was outside in the driveway. After 15 minutes, I realized that that wasn't the case, but it just felt so real and I really wanted it. There's also that TV show Viper. If you ever saw that, they had a red convertible Viper there, and I just always wanted one. So I did think I would be getting a red convertible Viper, and the more I looked at them, the more I started to like the shape of the GTS, and then I realized like I already have the Corvette with a top that comes off. I almost never take the top off because I mean, live in Texas, it's really hot, especially with a black leather interior, and so hardtop Viper, I'm just gonna drive more than I would probably drive a convertible. So I have been driving this thing pretty much non-stop. I've had it for about 4 days now, and so far everything seems to work. There's no warning lights, there's no weird rattles. I got the Carfax for this before I bought it. It did fail the emissions test like twice in a row, but then it passed, and it also passed at the dealership when I was there. So maybe there's something wrong with that somewhere, but it's passing now and only has 1 more year left until it doesn't have to worry about emissions tests anymore. So not too worried about that. There is what looks to be at first glance like clear coat damage, but it's actually, this is raised and you can scrape it off with your fingernail. And I think this is just residue. I think somebody had like a paint protection film on here at some point, and whenever they took it off, they did not get all the glue off. So I think all I need to do about this stuff is go get some Goo Gone or something, and it should come right off. So if we jump inside, this thing is in really good condition. It has 29,000 miles on it. All the plastic is not cracked or faded or warped or anything. This has been a Texas car its entire life. So it was bought new by the first owner in 2000. They sold it in 2003 with like 6,000 miles on it. Then it was again sold, I want to say 2010 with 19,000, and that person drove it until now with 29,000 miles on it. We do actually have the door handles. You can see this vinyl here is peeling. I don't know if that's common or not, but it seems like I can either just get some new vinyl or replace the door handles or something. Should be able to take care of that pretty easy. Oh, the elastic. That's like the one other thing. I'm gonna have to contact my local seamstress and see if we can do something about this elastic problem. So there's really not much to the interior of this car. Like what you see is what you get. You've got like you know, AC, windows, radio, review mirrors, dimmer for the gauges, windshield wipers, and that's pretty much it. This is just the steering wheel. I recently noticed there's no cruise control, but that's fine. I mean, it's a race car. Like race cars don't need cruise control. I do have airbags. I believe this one also has ABS. The first generation did not. There's no traction control though, like no TPS, no TPMS, no electronic nannies of any sort. It just goes. So the engine, if you ever want to take a look at a Viper's engine and the owner's not around, it's okay, you don't need them. All you do is you come down here, and there's a handle under here. Pull that, then there's a safety latch right up under there. Once you've disengaged your safety latch, all you gotta do is come over here and pull the hood up, which I do actually need 2 hands for because it's kind of heavy. So this is the belly of the beast. This is an 8-liter V10, makes 450 horsepower, 490 pound-feet of torque, which when you couple it with these tires, which are absolutely insane, it's got 335s on the back, I think 255s on the front. They grip, and the thing just goes. Like there's no hesitation. It just takes off straight off the line. So this car it's technically a gray color, but in the light it actually looks kind of blue. So much in fact that the Auto Trader listing I found this on, it had it listed as a blue car. I didn't really want gray. I think I said this before, I wanted red, but I've got red truck. We have the red 55. The RX-7 is and will be red if we ever get that finished. So it's kind of an interesting color, I think, a good addition to the fleet. So some interesting things I've noticed about this car, this door handle, I thought this would be like mechanical, you know, connected to a cable or something, but it's actually an electronic switch. So you just press your button there and the door opens right up. So I thought for sure one of the things I would want to do to this car would be to add some sort of screen just to have a backup camera, maybe, you know, a screen for directions or whatever. And there's a backup camera on the back of the car that I thought had been disconnected. Whoops, can't listen to copyright music. But it turns out when you put the car in reverse, The rearview mirror here has a backup camera in it, so we don't need a screen for that. This radio, it's also pretty new. It's got Alexa on it, so you can, hook that up to your phone and talk to her and everything. So that's kind of nice. There's also no cup holder. So, I mean, race car, but I mean, come on, it's an American race car. There should be like 12 cup holders in here. So I'll have to maybe figure out something for that at some point. They sell, little cup holders you can put like on the passenger side and stuff. So I'll find something. So back here, I did find one thing I was really surprised about, and that is a cigarette lighter. So somebody was maybe smoking in here at some point. The car doesn't smell like smoke at all, so they're probably doing the thing where they like hold their cigarette out the window and just start side of the road fires. So thanks for thinking about the car and not Smokey the Bear. So another interesting thing is this this warning label right here. So on the first generation, they had side pipes and the exhaust came out right here. In this generation, apparently they moved the tailpipes to the back to satisfy the EPA, I guess, noise pollution or something. But the CATs, the catalytic converters, they are still here. There's one here and one over in that door sill too. So they get a little warm. I don't think I'd say it gets hot, but it definitely gets warm. And there is, if you do a CAT delete, racetrack only, you can take the pipe straight from the engine to these back pipes and go around the CATs. So you don't need to get your side skirts warm there. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but it's an option if things do get too warm. And also, if you take a look in the trunk, someone has taken the time to fill up all the trunk space with a giant subwoofer. Yeah, so I'm not going to be doing many runs to Home Depot in this, but it sounds really good when you're getting there in a hurry. Oh, and I don't know what this is. This looks like a switch of some sort, like maybe your trunk is open indicator or to turn on a light of some sort, but there's not a light in here, haven't seen, and your trunk is open indicator up there. So if anybody knows what that does, tell me down in the comments. Oh, and at some point something got melty up there. The back of that seat is a little melted, but how often are you in the trunk, especially when you have no trunk space? The emblem right here, that's pretty cool. That's actually the brake light, so that lights up whenever you hit the brakes. The fuel filler cap is another thing I really like about this. It looks really awesome. The wheels. So the first thing my wife asked me when we got this, she said, "Are you gonna change the wheels?" And I was like, "Why? Is there something wrong with them?" So she said no. She said no, they're fine. But so typically I don't like a lot of chrome on cars, but with this car, I mean, they're like classic Viper wheels. It doesn't really get much more Viper than that. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think I should change the wheels or not. Granted, there is a huge wheel arch gap, but that's just, again, that's what Vipers do. That's how they look. Like it doesn't make me angry. So I don't know. I think I might keep them for now. At some point they may change, but we'll see how they do. Again, these tires, they're Toyo Proxys R, and I mean, if you look at them, like they're almost drag slicks. They hook up, they go. They're doing great right now. Although they're pretty noisy, I will give them that. Like they're so wide, just like the road noise coming off of these is crazy. But you have the V10 to listen to, not really a problem. The seatbelt in here is kind of strange because whenever you reach over for it, it's not there. It's over here. It's on the wrong side. It's in the middle. It takes a little getting used to. The shifting, it's a little clunky. Not that like it's clunky bad, but like you can tell it's not like a cable shifter where there's a little bit of give if you move the shifter. But here, like whenever you hit the end of the shift, it clunks metal on metal and it lets you know that it's there. The shifting's also a little interesting. It doesn't, on most cars, like when you pop it out of gear, it automatically centers itself and returns to the middle of neutral. This car does not do that. Whenever you pop it out of gear, it just kind of stays wherever you put it, which isn't terrible. The gears aren't hard to find. It's just something that takes a little getting used to. So the air conditioning blows super cold, which is great, but whenever you get on the throttle, like we are now, it turns off. I don't know if that's a feature of Dodge Vipers or it's just a feature of my Viper. The steering and the clutch, I'd say they're heavy. So the clutch is not the easiest in the world to push down, which isn't a big deal. But similarly, the steering takes a little bit of effort to steer. I'm imagining that's because that has those huge tires in the front. So it just means I'm going to get a little bit more of a workout here. So that is my midlife crisis. It's going well so far. And until next time, just go to Mr. Nobody's channel, remind him he did a bad thing, and also consider subscribing. But until next time, I think I'm just gonna go for a drive. See you later.